Mark tried to overtake, but was deliberately blocked. Finally finding an opening, he rolled down his window and unleashed a torrent of abuse at the man. As he drove off, he flashed the guy an elegant gesture. Little did he know that while crossing the bridge, his tire suddenly blew out. With no other choice, Mark dialed roadside assistance. But just as the spare tire was installed, the man he'd cursed drove up. Sensing the man's hostility, Mark quickly put on a smile, hoping to persuade him to leave. Instead, the man abruptly stopped, reversed, and rammed into Mark's car. Then he got out and suddenly swatted a bug to death with one hand. Mark was still apologizing, trying to escape unscathed, but the man wasn't letting him off. He directly snapped off Mark's windshield wiper. Spotting a passing car, Mark honked frantically to attract its attention. This only enraged the man further. He grabbed a jack and smashed it viciously against the window. Terrified, Mark immediately called the police. When the window wouldn't break, the man climbed onto the hood, pulled down his pants, and urinated all over the car. Mark was so disgusted he felt sick. He turned his head away. The man hurled vile insults at Mark before finally preparing to leave. But Mark's rage only grew. He started the engine, slammed the accelerator, and rammed into the man's car. The man froze in terror, completely losing his mind. Mark didn't care. He deliberately drove the man's car into the river. Watching the car flip over and quickly fall silent, Mark felt a surge of satisfaction. He continued tightening the screws, but then the man smashed through the window and scrambled out. Mark dodged just in time to avoid another beating. Still seething, he spun the car around and accelerated toward the bridge. The man leapt off the bridge as Mark approached. Mark spun again, aiming for another collision, but the spare tire flew off, sending the car careening out of control. Mark plunged into the river too. The airbag deployed, knocking him unconscious. The man immediately pursued him, tossing the items from the trunk before crawling in through the rear. With the door jammed shut, Mark had nowhere to escape. Mark grabbed the fire extinguisher and smashed it hard against the man's head. In the confined space, both men fought with every ounce of strength, neither willing to yield. Mark sprayed him with the extinguisher, filling the car with smoke. The man's eyes flashed with ferocity as he landed several brutal punches on Mark. As Mark struggled to hold on, he finally managed to open the door. But as he tried to crawl out, the seatbelt tightened around his neck. Seeing Mark rapidly suffocating, he decisively opened the fuel cap, tore off his sleeve, stuffed it inside, and lit a fire, intending to flee. But Mark wasn't dead. He suddenly grabbed the man's leg and dragged him back into the car with all his strength. When the rescue vehicle arrived, they saw no sign of an accident. But just as they crossed the bridge, an explosion erupted below. When the police arrived, they couldn't fathom what had happened. All they saw was the two men inside the car, locked in an embrace, looking incredibly sweet.